Good morning, YouTube. So we're here right now, guys. We're eating rice with vegetable broth, onions, carrots. A lot of you guys, are we sick? No. But I've been craving this lately, so I made it myself. And bonus, I found out finally how to cook the rice like the Asians do. All right, figured it out. I used to screw it up all the time, guys. The key is to measure up to right here. So you put the rice in, and the water should be right here to this finger. You start the water cold, okay? Put the rice. When it starts boiling, drop the heat down to low. Put the lid on. Don't take the lid off. Take it off every 5 minutes, all right? Just to give a little stir, make sure the rice doesn't stick. And you're gonna go, all right? Perfect rice every time. Man, it's good. So this video is about how to bench press, because I feel like not a lot of people carve at the top. So it's gonna be a 20-minute video, so buckle up, get ready, and let's talk. So I didn't start benching till later on in my career. Really later on. Like about 3 years into it. But I wasn't like seriously training for bench press. I was just bench pressing for fun. I remember I was stuck at, I don't remember what I used to bench when I first started, but I remember back in July, when Crunch Fitness closed down. Because that's about when it closed down. I started my new job in August. So yeah. When Crunch Fitness closed down, I was at 185. Okay? Keep in mind, I was also weighing less as well. Okay? I was weighing about 130. 130 more or less. 135. But let's see. At 130 actually. I was at 185. And every week, come in. 185. 185. And I had a coach at that time too. And he was really strong too. But so I was talking about, guys, a coach might know what works for him, but what works for you will be completely different. So, number one. Number two, get a coach to teach you the basics. Form. How the depth, right? Once you know, right? What? Somebody home already? I don't remember. Once you know what to do, then you're good. Now, technique on bench press. After bench pressing for about a whole year now. So it's still, yeah, about a year, almost, more or less. I'd say 10 months. Now, I've been lifting for 6 years, so I've watched thousands of YouTube videos. I've watched the guys bench press 700 pounds. I've watched guys bench press 315. And one of my favorite bench pressers in this world is Larry Wheels. And I'm going to talk about why. Larry is the only the only guy in this world that's benched really heavy, has not gone into pec injury. Has not. No, is it just genetics? Could be. Have not had a herniated disc. He's of course had other injuries, right? But hasn't had a herniated disc. Hasn't fucked up anything in a squat, you know. So Larry, to me, is amazing. So he benched 675. Okay, wide bar bench press is more for chest engagement, which is true. A lot of you guys are like, man, dude, how do we not try pec on bench press? Everybody's seen it. Ryan Crowley. And that ring a bell? Ryan Crowley 500 on incline. Pec tear. Look it up. That thing came right off the bone. Bam. No, these are rare injuries. Pec tears don't happen as often as you guys think. Okay, you may see it every day, but it doesn't happen as much as you guys think. Right. Why does a pec tear happen? Let's talk about it. Because every lift has an injury. Every lift. You could get a herniated disc with a deadlift. You could tear a bicep on a deadlift. You could do anything, right? Bench press, the same thing. So, I tell you this. If you're going at a bench from a powerlifting perspective or a strength perspective, guys, grab your thumbs, measure where the bar starts, the little, what do you call it, little, just measure like this, and boom, that's your grip. Boom, right? Number one. Number two, if you guys are going to find bodybuilding perspective, and you don't care about strength, go wide. It's fine. Now, I'll say this. Pec tears happen when the muscle contracts and it was something, okay, I read it last night. It was the muscle contract, well, I don't remember exactly, but it does two things at once, and that's why that happens, right? So you're at the bottom of the movement, the muscle contracts, okay, and you press and it tears. That's how it works. Now, a lot of you guys are like, man, aren't you scared of bench press after hearing that? Nope. Why? All right, I'm trying to eat, guys. Talk, so it's a little bit frustrating. But why do I still bench press? Because I believe, number one, I believe in God. Okay? If you guys didn't know, my channel is faith-based, all right? Faith is over everything. Every time I walk into the gym, before I walk into the gym, I pray to God to give me the strength that He gives me, okay? If you guys don't believe in faith and you guys don't want to say subscribe, that's up to you. I'm not here to force anybody. But I want you guys to know this channel is faith-based, right? Because, you know, God makes me strong. He makes me strong. Every time I walk into any gym, I pray. I'm like, God, give me the strength. Let this be an awesome workout. And if He gives you the chance to lift, good. If that day I don't hit a PR, it's okay. There's always the next day. Always the next day, right? Life is a gift, guys. Remember, my favorite quote in life is, yesterday's history, tomorrow, mystery, and today is a gift. If you guys know where that's from Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. And it's so true. So, but besides that, I want to tell you guys this. That when you guys bench press, all right, first things first, look, because a lot of people don't think about it. When I bench press at my school gym because I like the racks. I like the benches there. They're really good. Okay. 3 things to look for when I bench. When any bench press. Is the padding hard or soft? If the padding's soft, it's going to be worse because you're not going to have as much track. If the padding's soft, you're fucked. Literally. So check around your gym. If they have soft padding, find another gym. Literally, find another gym, guys, that has better bench. The padding should be hard. Like wood with a little bit of cushion. Just a little bit, like an inch, okay? Oh, at my school gym, they have these benches, which are really good. Exactly on top, like wood, right? But they have a little bit of cushion, so that's it. Why? Because you want to be able to drive your spine. You want to be able to drive, right? Number two, when you say you're setting it up, okay? If you're setting it up on a rack, so I bench in the squat racks because I hate the benches at our school and they look like shit. And they're the worst benches I've ever seen in my life. They're crappy, they fall apart. I don't like the way you sit on them. It's awkward. And I'll take a video and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. And I'll talk about it. But I set it up at the rack, so I make sure the bench is in the middle of the rack. Okay. Number 2, the bar. So setting up the height of the bar, guys, is really important. You should not be, right? You should not be here and still having to unrack. No. You should be about right here, okay? Your arms should be fully extended to when you protract your scapula. So this is how it should work. You're here, right? You should be able to grab the bar. And that's why I say, measure yourself. When I bench with other guys who are shorter than me, sometimes you have to readjust. And it's okay, all right? But this is what I'm talking about. You guys have to make sure, right? When you're benching, adjust the height. Make sure it's good. The bar should be right over your face, literally. Your eye path and your nose right here, the bar should be right there, okay, in that portion. Number one. Number two, when you guys unrack, just practice racking and unracking for 5 minutes with just the bar. Give me 5 good reps, okay? And remember, bench the bar, guys, just like how you're gonna bench your heaviest set. This is Larry Wheels. I quote him: bench your first set, how are you gonna bench your top set? That's it. Okay? Literally, there's nothing else. There's no other way, okay? Number two. Number three. Before even sitting down, 3 points of contact. Okay? Let's talk about it. Feet. You guys have noticed I have trouble keeping my feet planted on the floor. What am I gonna do? I might start putting plates on my fucking feet so I don't move. Because sometimes, guys, I tend to move around. My feet tend to move. You guys see it on the bench I do. 1 foot will lift, causing instability. So, okay? That's another thing. And then, after that, glutes. So feet, glutes, and your last point, back. Well, I guess this part, back, neck. So you should be, what I always do, and I recommend you guys use. So when I come to the bar, I grab the bar, I check my grip, make sure it's good. I pull up to the bar like I'm doing a row, and then I drive my back into the bench, okay? So my back is stable. Once I get everything stable, okay, I put my feet on the floor. So because I always normally have my feet on the bench, and then I put them on the floor, right? Once I have them on the floor, I feel stable, okay? Either I unrack if I'm doing a lightweight, or I ask the spotter to unrack. Now, a lot of you guys may wonder, man, when do I need a spotter? How do I tell him to unrack it? So this is another thing I want to talk about. When you guys are benching really heavy, this means going up to your max or past your max. You guys need somebody who knows what the hell they're doing, okay? Not some 80-year-old man who's never spotted you in your life before, who's never even seen a barbell before, who might break his arm holding it, okay? Not the 15-year-old guy who looks like he works out. You need a fucking beast to spot you. You need somebody who's gonna be there, who's gonna fucking grab that bar, fuck you if you die, but you have to cue them, okay? Before any spotter spots me, I always say, hey, I'm going for 1 rep, I'm going for 2 reps, right? And then I'll tell them, lift, hey, I'm just gonna pause on my chest, don't touch the bar, right? Because sometimes I do pause bench, and when I do pause bench, people think I'm failing. I'm not. I'm just pausing at the bottom, right? To stay at that bottom half of the movement, right? I'll lay the weight on my chest for about 5 minutes, not even 5 seconds, and then I'll press it up, right? So you have to tell them, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be doing a pause bench right now. I'm gonna pause weight on my chest for 5 minutes. Don't touch the bar, even if it looks like I'm failing. And a lot of people might not do that. Like, hey man, I don't really want to do that, bro. What if you get it, right? Whatever. I need a spotter that's gonna be like, I got you, bro. Yesterday I took a spotter, right? I'm like, yo, can you spot me? He was my friend. I met him a couple days ago. Okay? I'm like, yo, can you spot me? He looks at the way, he's like, man, how much is that? I'm like, 250. He's like, hesitated at first, and he's like, yeah, I got it. So, now, a lot of you guys are like, man, how do we spot? So, if you yourself are a spotter, which sometimes I have to spot my friends, do not do this. Do not curl the weight up, okay? You can't curl 300 pounds, all right? What I recommend is you guys do over, under, like this, okay? Now, I'll teach you guys too when I have more time in the gym, and we'll talk about spotting more. But, like, people always tell me, it's like, when I spot somebody, all right, and people are like, yo, you know what, man, like, this is this. Like, when I spot my buddy, I see him. He's the worst. Not he's the worst. He's a really good spotter, but the thing with him is he knows how to spot me because I've taught him how. And now he's a really good spotter. I'm like, help, right? I'll give him a cue, help. And once he hears that, he has me, right? But a lot of people, if they see you struggling, they pull that bar up, fuck you. They're like, damn, you just trim out lift. know what I mean? And this is why I'm much more particular because of my spotter, not because before I used to choose anybody. Anyway, the first guy I saw, boom, hey, can you smell me? Not anymore. Not anymore. Now, I'm very particular on who I choose. So, next step. How do we warm up for bench press? So, first things first, remember once you've got everything down, the bar. Oh, another thing, before you guys warm up, always check. Grab 2 fingers, look at the end of the bench where it sits on the rack, and measure that it's equally sitting on the rack. Because if you unrack uneven, guys, you're fucked. Not a lot of people talk about that. Unrack even. Don't unrack uneven. Okay. So, I'll talk about warm up. So I always warm up like this. The bar, a 25, and I'll take off the 25, I'll put 130, I'll put a plate on. I'll do a plate and a 10. I'll do a plate and a 25. And then after that, then I'll start adding a little bit. Okay, let's do a plate and let's do a plate, a 25 and a 10. And then if how that moves, I'm like, okay, let's do 225. You know what, let's do 235, right? You just have to see, guys. Number one, this is why I always say, you can't walk into the gym and be like, man, I'm gonna hit 300. No, not how this works. You don't decide what you hit. Your body decides what you hit. So if you feel low on calories, you're not caffeinated, you're tired, you're not motivated, you forgot your headphones at home, it might not be a great day, guys, to hit the bench press, right? If it's your PR day. But if you got everything, you're fueled up, you're hydrated, you're caffeinated, you're ready to go, right? You got your headphones on, you got the right playlist on, right? You got your buddy to spot you. Weights are moving good. That's another thing. If the weights move good, PR. Doesn't fucking matter what the day is. If the weights moving good, PR. If the weights are moving like shit, don't PR. What do you do if the weights moving like shit? Do 2x2s. Do 2x5s. Do whatever. You know what I mean? Figure it out. Be like, hey, you know what? Today I'm gonna work on 5s. Boom, 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 right? Hey, you know what? Today I'm gonna work on 2s. Okay? Today I'm gonna work on pause bench. Pause bench is lighter than regular bench. For me, it's 5 pounds off. Now a lot of you is like, man, you're like, this is a lot of shit. What else do you need? Well, so now I bench with wrist wraps and elbow wraps sometimes neither, sometimes both. And a lot of people have been critiquing me lately. And everybody's like, man, bro, you're using wrist wraps, that's cheating. Man, bro, you're using this, that's cheating. Man, you're using this. Like, here's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Alright. First of all, if you're criticizing me, this is this for you. If you're not, well, just let you guys know, there's people that criticize me on here. Alright. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. I can bench 215 without wrist wraps. No, sorry, without elbow wraps. I find this. Okay. Sometimes when you get to really heavy weights, right, you want the extra support. It's not cheating. People think it's not cheating. It's not. All right? I just like benching with elbow wraps, okay? Now, I'm not going to use elbow wraps on dumbbells just because it doesn't work for me. I don't like it, right? On bench, I like them. On dips, sometimes when I'm fatigued, I like using them. They give me a little extra boost, okay? Now, for the people who sit here and judge me, it's okay, all right? I don't think using wrist straps makes you weaker. I don't think using wrist straps makes you, okay, I just like wrist straps, for example. I use them. Why? Because I like protecting my wrists, okay? I could bench 205 without anything. But I find with wrist straps, I have a little more support. Same thing with fucking elbow wraps. I could probably bench 225 without wrist straps, or without elbow wraps. Do I want to? No, because I find the elbow wraps give me a little more support on my elbow. Okay? What do elbow wraps do? Let's talk about it. So elbow wraps, knee wraps, okay? What they do, you crank them up. You're cutting circulation around the legs. and the elbows. And what you guys are doing is you're using it like a spring. So it does help you a little bit. It does. Okay? But, I feel like to push yourself, guys, past your limits, you have to do stuff that, for example, you guys see that guy, what the fuck's his name? The kid who's sponsored by Young LA, he's bench pressing like 700 pounds. Logan, whatever, right? He uses everything. He uses a slingshot. He uses elbow sleeves. He uses elbow wrap. He uses wrist straps. He's benching over 700 pounds. Now, my question to you guys is that fair because he's benching 700 pounds? But because I'm benching 235, it doesn't, you know what I mean, guys? I'm not saying, okay, oh, I know, okay? I'm not saying elbow wraps are cheating. Okay, they're not. Okay? Does Ronnie Coleman, is he cheating because he's using knee wraps to leg press 2,300 pounds? Let me ask you guys this, where do you guys draw the line? Do you not wear a belt on a deadlift because you think it's cheating? I feel like if stuff is made, if tools are made, right? Because elbow wraps, wrist straps, knee wraps, elbow sleeves, knee sleeves, squat shoes, lifting belts, lifting straps, okay, smelling salts, all this stuff are tools that are made to help us. Smelling salts. A lot of people think I'm crazy because I smell smelling salts. Guys, smelling salts are a chemical. They irritate the nasal cavities, therefore allowing more oxygen to flow through the brain. Okay? That's all it does. You're not inhaling crack, you're not inhaling cocaine. You irritate the nasal cavities, okay, to where your brain's like, whoa, and in that moment, you smell more oxygen. And therefore, more oxygen goes to the muscles, therefore allowing you to lift more weight, okay? Wrist straps. Wrist straps don't help with anything. Or you wrap them, your wrists, right? Instead of doing this, because this is what wrists do, right? Wrist straps hold them in place so they don't move, right? So when you're doing 300 or 400 or how much weight you're doing, okay, your wrists don't move. If you're benching and your wrist does this, you're very at risk for injury. Wrist straps, they protect. They don't allow it. They allow for minimal to no motion. Now, let's talk about wrist straps on back day. A lot of people think guys who use wrist straps on back day are pussies. So that depends. What day is it? It depends. I don't use wrist straps on deadlifts. I don't. I use wrist straps on shrugs because wrist straps on back day are sometimes necessary because your grip. Now, if you're warming up and you're doing this, right? Sometimes it's important because your grip will get tired before your muscles. That's why they're created. They're not created because people go, oh, you can't grip the weight. No, it's because your hands get sweaty. Sometimes you can't grip the weight. Some gyms don't allow chalk in the gym. Okay? Same shit. Okay? Okay, what about elbow wraps? So elbow wraps, what they do is they pretty much protect, okay, well, right here, yeah, number one, and they protect your elbows, guys. Your elbow's a delicate joint. Everything in your body is delicate. You fuck it up, you're toast. That's it. So what do elbow wraps do? They give you a little bit more of a spring, okay? Just like if you put, it's like saying, guys, man, why don't you just leave a car stock, right? Because they'll only perform to what its stock capabilities are. If you want a car to perform better, faster, right? More, right? You're gonna have to add parts, turbos, superchargers, turbochargers, aftermarket exhaust. Same thing with your body. If you want your body to perform past its limits, you're gonna have to put stuff on it, right? Knee wraps, same freaking thing. Okay? One of my college professors, he's always telling me, he's like, man, I used to wrap my knees all the time. But that's why you have good knees. Because you're wrapping yourself up. You're protecting your knees, guys, okay? Try getting under a 500-pound squat with knee wraps and without knee wraps. You tell me what the difference is, okay? You tell me. And for the people like, man, I can do it raw. That's awesome. That's great. Great for you. I'm happy for you. I can't. Okay? Belts on deadlifts. Belts, lifting belts. I believe in lifting belts. For example, Eddie Hall doesn't believe in lifting belts. He believes, oh, I would train without lifting belts. And then when it came to the competition, I would put everything on and feel like, okay, I believe this. I believe that if you're going to wear a piece of equipment in competition, you should probably start practicing wearing it even when you're training. So, for example, me, when I deadlift, well, if I still deadlift, I don't know, that's another thing. You know, I think deadlifts are great. Yeah. I think they're awesome. They're great for the back. But if your lower back's sore, don't deadlift. Don't. Just wait. Wait till it recuperates. Okay. Let's talk about it. Belts. How it works. You wrap that belt tight, your core has something to brace against. Right? That's it. That's what it is. Now, but guys, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Alright. There's tools out there that help you. There's tools out there that don't help you. Any guy who uses the pussy pad on the bar for squatting, you guys know the little thing that, because guys are like, oh, it hurts. It's dumb. I would never use that. Never. Why? Because the bar should sit on your body. And if you don't like the pain, well, you shouldn't be squatting in the first place, son. Alright? But, and then, guys, where do you guys draw the line? Where do you draw the line? What's not cheating? Okay? You know, at some point, somebody's gonna have to use something. Larry goes, when he benched 675, he used smelling salts. He used knee wraps. He used elbow wraps. He used all this stuff, right? And that's what I'm saying, guys. You have to do what works for you. Not what works for me. Not what works for Larry. Not what works for Eddie Hall. Not what works for Thor Bjornsson. What works for you. Now, what works for me is what I've done the last 6 years. Go hard, train, eat, drink, fuel up, eat 6 meals a day. All right? And that's it. All right? But I just want to let you guys know that from my standpoint, from my point of view. All right? Anyway, I'll catch you guys. I gotta do a bunch of stuff right now, but I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, thank you guys for getting me to 210 subscribers. All right, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye.